Do you ever feel like your ah vowel just can't win? This vowel, ah, supposed to be the most singerly vowel of all, often turns into the biggest problem. It gets accused of everything, being too throaty, being too breathy, too nasal, too far back, too shallow, too dark, or not dark enough. It is no wonder that ah is actually many singers' least favorite vowel. Let's sort out what's actually happening and how to bring it into balance. Hello there, wonderful singers, and welcome to your COVO vocal exercise routine of the week. My name is Dr. Julia Nielsen, and I'm the founder of COVO, short for Community Vocalizing, where our mission is to advance singers' vocal health, fitness, and longevity by providing creative vocal exercise routines. We are wrapping up Vowels Month here at COVO, where each of our live general vocal workouts has been what I call a love letter to a specific vowel or vowel family, where we do a deep dive into how that vowel is produced, what it tends to do well, and how it can get into trouble. In this week's warm-up routine, we will focus on the ah vowel, which is actually a vowel that I still wrestle with on a regular basis, at least in my middle voice. In English, the ah vowel, like the vowel in father, is considered a low back vowel. The tongue sits low and flat in the mouth, and its body is positioned toward the back. It's also an open vowel because the jaw is relatively open, creating a large space between the tongue and the roof of the mouth. So what can go wrong here? Sometimes it seems like everything. When the tongue decides to aggressively flatten for this vowel and perhaps retract a bit just for good measure, well, then we get that throaty, dark, and too far back sound that ah is often accused of. Ah can also become a non-resonant, breathy vowel in certain ranges of the voice for reasons related to vocal acoustics and vowel formants. So what do singers do to try to fix that? They elevate the larynx and they squeeze the throat to try to brighten or focus that ah vowel. But then what do they get? A shallow and constricted sound. How do we avoid these traps? In this first exercise, we will use two other vowels that will hopefully rub off on the ah vowel in specific and helpful ways. First, we'll get the throat set up on an oo vowel, oo, which tends to have a naturally lower position of the larynx. Then we will sing an ah vowel, ah, which tends to relax the tongue. Then as we transition to ah, we'll try to keep that deep feeling in the throat while maintaining that softness in the tongue. Ah, down the scale. So the whole exercise goes like this. Give that a try with me. Now, as we come back down in pitch, we're going to breathe in on the shape of an oo vowel. We're going to think the tongue softness of the vowel in that moment before we start to sing. But then we're going to sing for the entire exercise. Breathe in on an oo. Think breathe in on the oo. Great job. In our next exercise, we're going to sing I like ice cream. And who doesn't? But let me come back to you for a moment. One reason why native English speakers often struggle with over darkness in their vowels is that the version of that we usually use in most but not all American dialects is in fact a dark vowel. In the International Phonetic Alphabet, that vowel is indicated by this symbol. Father, car, box. Meanwhile, in other languages that classical singers often sing, like Italian, French, and German, the vowel is brighter, indicated by this International Phonetic Alphabet symbol, This vowel has just a slightly higher tongue position, which makes it sound a little brighter. In most American English dialects, we do not use this brighter version of on its own, but we do encounter it in some diphthongs, diphthongs, like the words I like ice cream. We're going to take advantage of that in this exercise, next exercise, which uses diphthong words to coax our tongue out of that far back cave that it likes to crawl into on the dark vowel. So first we sing I like ice cream. Give that a try with me. Second line down, we're going to leave off the diphthong and just sing that brighter Now, if you are familiar with Southern dialects in the United States, we're going to all sound like Southern belles or gentlemen who tend to use a brighter vowel and also to diminish the diphthong in words like this. I like ice cream. That's my terrible Scarlett O'Hara imitation. I like ice cream. So sing just the first vowel. I like ice cream. I like ice cream. I like ice cream. I like we can hold on to the slightly higher tongue position of that bright ah as we sing the pitch pattern just on the vowel. Bottom line, just ah, no consonants. So when you see repeated notes, just tie them together rather than re-singing them. Keep thinking the words. It helps your tongue find the right spot. For our final exercise, ah will finally get to be where it is happiest, on high notes. As I mentioned earlier in the routine, there are reasons related to vocal acoustics and vowel formants that ah tends to be more naturally resonant. I think of it as being more at home on high notes, and because of this, ah is one of the vowels that does not need modification on high notes when we sing it with an open jaw. So we're going to be an operatic cat in this exercise, singing meow, 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 an arpeggio like this. Meow, 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 meow. Why the meow? It brings your tongue forward a bit, doesn't it? Which is a tongue correction that many singers need on the ah vowel. So try it with me. Meow, 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 meow. 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 If and when this exercise gets too high for you, please take a break. But if you're continuing on with me, feel free to leave the syllables off the highest notes if it feels better. Meow, 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 etc. Now we're going to try a little experiment. I'd like you to try singing an vowel on the highest notes. Meow, meow, meow. Try that again. Did that feel any different? Now these two vowels, dark ah and they are next door neighbors on the vowel chart. And if you're singing high enough, the two can start to behave almost interchangeably. But if felt better for you, it's probably because thinking the vowel helped you relax your tongue a little more. So let's continue with And I have one final trick for you. Reserve this trick for your very highest notes when you've got to sing an ah vowel. Try adding a little ah to the vowel instead. Ah like apple. It's going to lift your tongue a tiny bit more, which can make the high note both more comfortable and more resonant. But make it a nice rounded ah vowel, not a ah, not a spread and nasal one. Ah at the top, huh? I hope that this routine helped you to better understand your ah vowel and gave you some ideas for balancing it in a healthy way. If you enjoyed this routine, we've got more for you. Every week, we host 2 30-minute live vocal workouts on Zoom, and we would love to have you join us. These sessions are absolutely free. We meet on Zoom every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time, and instructions on how to request our free Zoom link are in the description below. If you want to make sure that you don't miss any new Kovo warm-up routine videos, you can subscribe to this channel to see each new routine when it posts, or use the link in the description below to get each new routine delivered directly to your email inbox. And finally, singers, remember, regular vocal exercise is the key to your vocal health, fitness, and longevity. Every time you show up at Kovo, you're going to get a creative vocal workout, expert coaching, and a community of friends to practice with. We'll see you there.